Stephanie Vacker responds to Liv Morgan's recent hint of an alliance. Stephanie Vacker, a well-known WWE performer, responded on social media today to a tease of an alliance with Liv Morgan. Next Saturday night, the veteran will compete for a title at Wrestlemania at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. During a singles bout against Kairi Sane on the June 16th episode of WWE Raw, Liv Morgan sustained a shoulder injury. She attended yesterday's press conference in Las Vegas, where it was announced that Wrestlemania 43 would take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. During the press conference, a wrestling fan reacted by comparing Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vacker to characters from Netflix's Wednesday series. As shown in the picture below, Vacker may have hinted to a partnership with Morgan by reposting the fan's photo on her Instagram story. Naomi became the Women's World Champion at WWE Evolution 2025 after cashing in her Money in the Bank contract. But because she was pregnant, she had to give up the title recently. Vacker, who became the top contender after winning a Battle Royal at Evolution, will face Io Sky at Wrestlemania for the Women's World Championship. Popular WWE superstar Rhea Ripley was recently singled out by Stephanie Vacker for a possible fantasy match. It would be an honor to fight the Eradicator, the former NXT Women's Champion said in an exclusive interview with Bill Apter of Sportskeeda Wrestling. Vacker stated that she would be a fantastic opponent for Ripley and expressed her desire to face her in a bout at some point. "It would be a privilege for me to take on you in the ring, Rhea. I'm saying this aloud. Therefore, I'll see you soon. When we finally meet, I'll fight you and prove to be a formidable foe," she remarked. The entire interview is available in the video below, but the news of Andrade's departure from the WWE shocked the wrestling community a few hours ago. In addition, the organization has declared that Saudi Arabia will host Wrestlemania 43. 3 WWE rumors that we hope are true, and 2 that we hope are not will be covered in this post. When he gave the AAA Mega Championship to recently crowned champion Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio made his comeback to the AAA scene. But on the April 18, 2024, SmackDown episode, the Master of the 619 made his final appearance inside the squared circle. The veteran recently visited the Performance Center and is reportedly nearing an in-ring comeback, according to a recent report from PW Insider Elite. Fans may anticipate seeing Rey participate in the ring once more in the near future. Given how well-liked Rey Mysterio is by fans and how beneficial his presence is to the business, we sincerely hope that this rumor is accurate. According to a Fightful article, Andrade is no longer associated with the Stamford-based company. Many were surprised by the former United States champion's reported departure. According to reports, El Idolo's contract did not expire, and it is still unknown why he left. The company's official roster page now features the star's profile in the alumni section. But as of now, WWE has not made any formal announcement about Andrade. Since the former AEW talent has a lot of potential and his departure may be a significant loss for World Wrestling Entertainment, we sincerely hope the rumor is untrue. After leaving TNA Wrestling, Jordynne Grace signed with World Wrestling Entertainment. Despite being associated with the NXT brand, she recently participated in Evolution 2025. Body Slam reported that WWE plans to add the Juggernaut to the main roster. Although the move's exact timeline is unknown, it appears to be imminent. Grace will be a fantastic addition to the women's section of the main roster, therefore we hope that this rumor is accurate. Saudi Arabia will host Wrestlemania 43, according to a recent announcement from WWE. Fans soon started speculating that renowned performers like The Rock, Steve Austin, and Stone Cold would show up on the stage and fight. The Texas Rattlesnake and the Final Boss have not been contacted about a match at the Showcase of the Immortals in 2027, according to a report from Fightful Select. We hope this rumor is untrue, since the Triple H-led promotion ought to reach out to veterans in order to make WrestleMania 43 a huge event. With Roxanne Perez attempting to get close to Dominic Mysterio, fans are anxiously awaiting Liv Morgan's homecoming. Due to an injury, the former Women's World Champion is presently on leave. Morgan is back at the Performance Center, according to a recent Body Slam story, so she might be making a comeback soon. Since the Miracle Kids WWE return will add interest to Monday Night Raw's Judgment Day dynamics, we hope the rumor is accurate. But the crowd at SummerSlam 2025 was humming with excitement as the lights in the crowded Allegiant Stadium were blinding. Everyone was glued to their seats for a high-profile tag bout that pitted Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss's odd but perilous partnership. The mood became electrifying as soon as Roxanne's music began to play. Her powerful companion Raquel trailed behind, tall and self-assured, as the prodigy bounced down the ramp, beaming and full of fire. After months of developing a relationship, they were prepared to take on two of WWE's most shrewd rivals tonight. The jeers came pouring in as Charlotte's music began to play. Clad in her royal gown, the Queen exuded the same cockiness that earned her a 14-time title, seemingly unconcerned. After a few moments, the lights went down, and Alexa Bliss's icy laugh could be heard. Her spooky smile, coupled with her dark attire, created an element of uncertainty. Charlotte and Alexa appeared to be a perverted combination of mind tricks and power. Roxanne was starting against Alexa as the bell rang. Roxanne dodged Alexa's blows, hit a clean arm drag, and fired up the audience with a dropkick that sent Bliss running to her corner as the two engaged in a fast-paced, precise battle. Charlotte joined in, requesting deference. Charlotte made fun of the rookie's size before pushing her to the mat as they walked around the ring with Roxanne. However, Roxanne recovered with fortitude and gave the veteran a head scissors takedown. When Raquel joined in, the tempo changed. Charlotte hesitantly locked up with the powerhouse after she glanced down at her. Charlotte was easily thrown across the ring by Raquel's unadulterated strength, which controlled the exchange. Raquel received a roaring applause after catching Bliss in midair and slamming her down as she attempted to interfere. Chaos broke out throughout the contest. The ring was cut in half when Charlotte and Bliss used their guile to separate Roxanne. While Alexa diverted the referee, enabling devious double-team tactics, Charlotte delivered a brutal chop across Roxanne's chest that reverberated throughout the arena. Roxanne struggled from below for a few minutes, not giving up. Roxanne dove across the ring to tag Raquel after countering a suplex into a roll-up. Raquel rushed in, clotheslining both opponents before throwing a spinning powerbomb at Bliss, causing the crowd to explode. Raquel powered out and sent Charlotte tumbling into the turnbuckle as she attempted to lock in the figure eight. The moment Roxanne scaled the ropes and tagged back in was the climax. Raquel stepped in and planted Charlotte with a Tajana bomb after Charlotte threw the referee away to trip her. After neutralizing Flair, Roxanne hooked the leg for the 1, 2, 3, and threw herself onto Alexa Bliss with a corkscrew splash. Perez and Rodriguez celebrated their career-defining victory while standing tall and holding hands as the arena shook. Alexa sat in shock, gripping her ribs, while Charlotte rolled out of the ring furious, glaring at Raquel. With Raquel raising her arm like a proud big sister and Roxanne pointing to the skies as her moment of validation was finally secured, the SummerSlam 2025 highlight video came to a close. The message was unmistakable. Legends were not going away now that the next generation had arrived. But inside Philadelphia's Lincoln Financial Field, the lights went out. As one of the most anticipated entrances in Wrestlemania history took place, 80,000 people cheered with excitement. The stadium was suddenly filled with the eerie strains of Motionless in White's voices. As the band emerged, clad in their trademark Gothic attire, flames erupted from the stage, giving a live, unadulterated intensity that sent the floor trembling. However, this was more than just a concert. It was Rhea Ripley's triumphal entrance as the Eradicator. The Titantron came to life with Ripley's terrifying highlight reel, her might, her triumphs, and her unwavering aura, as Chris Motionless snarled into the microphone. Rhea Ripley appeared from the stage's shadows, wearing a custom leather jacket adorned with chains, spikes, and metallic studs that shone in the strobes. A proud memento of all she had battled for, her Women's World Championship hung over her shoulder. As Ripley descended the lengthy Wrestlemania ramp, the crowd erupted, accompanied by the band's thunderous riffs and pyrotechnics that perfectly matched the song's breaks. As the fans yelled her name, She smirked and stomped in time with the drumming. It was more of a statement that this was her stage, her night, and her Wrestlemania than it was an entrance. In the ring, her opponent, a legend making a comeback for a final chance at fame, was nearly overshadowed by Ripley's dramatic entrance. The mood had completely changed due to Ripley's presence and the raw energy of live music, making the intimidation element unquestionable. The excitement from the entrance continued as the game started. Ripley used the energy in the air to his advantage and battled with an unrivaled ferocity. The spectators were on the edge of their seats at every locked-in submission, boot, and suplex. At one point, Motionless in White's riffs reverberated as Ripley stood over her fallen opponent, and the band played a loud instrumental interlude to heighten the match's finale. WrestleMania magic was evident in the conclusion. With crushing force, Ripley threw her opponent to the ground and slammed them into the canvas with the riptide. The stadium roared when the referee's hand struck 3. With a triumphant smile and sweat streaming down her cheeks, Ripley held her championship high as the band played their last note and fireworks illuminated the sky. It was a moment that would go down in WrestleMania history, not simply a victory. Rhea Ripley did more than simply defend her title that evening. She proved why she is not only mommy but also among the best to have ever entered the ring by putting on an incredible WrestleMania show. And with Motionless in White supporting her, it was obvious that this was the pinnacle of rock and wrestling fusion. But the throng of almost 60,000 fans in Perth, Australia, exploded in excitement when the lights inside the Optus Stadium lowered. Elimination Chamber 2024, the largest WWE event to ever take place in Australia, had an electrifying atmosphere. However, that was nothing in comparison to what was going to occur. Hailing from Adelaide, South Australia, the women's world champion, Rhea Ripley, the announcer's voice bellowed. The crowd trembled with thunderous applause in that moment. The hometown hero left with her signature sneer on her face as fireworks burst into the sky and Rhea Ripley's song began to play. With the Women's World Championship around her waist and dressed in black leather, Rhea looked like the superstar Australia had claimed as its own. Supporters held up placards that said, "Our Nightmare, Our Champion," and "Rhea Rules the World," painted their faces and waved flags. This was not just another title defense for Rhea. It was a homecoming, an opportunity to demonstrate her progress to the nation that raised her. She had fantasized of standing in front of this very crowd as a child. She was their pride now, not merely a show for them. Becky Lynch, the renowned legend who had pledged to overthrow Rhea's rule, was her opponent for the evening. Becky also emerged to thunderous applause, but it was obvious which side the Australian supporters supported. More loudly than ever, the "Mommy" chants reverberated around the stadium. The war started when the bell rung. Each exchange of strikes between Rhea and Becky heightened the tension in the arena. Rhea's might overcame Becky's attempt to lock the disarm her in place. The audience erupted when Rhea delivered a brutal suplex to Becky. Rhea's every action seemed to have Australia's weight behind it. Becky attempted a risky maneuver by climbing to the top rope halfway through the match, but Rhea responded with a loud riptide. Rhea chose to stop and listen to the booming cries of "Aussie, Aussie, Aussie, oi, oi, oi," rather than go for the pin. There was no mistaking the pride in her eyes. However, Becky was a formidable foe. She retaliated, almost catching Rhea with a manhandle slam, but Rhea quickly undid it. Before hurling Becky into the barricade, Rhea even gave fans high fives as the match spilt beyond the ring. The audience was immersed in her every moment, and their enthusiasm never faltered. Rhea raised Becky high and gave one last, forceful riptide in the middle of the ring after a tiring 20-minute battle. 1, 2, 3. She hooked the leg. The stadium blew apart. Rhea Ripley, still the women's world champion, stood tall as fireworks burst forth once more. More significantly, though, she was a national hero. Her eyes filled with tears as she surveyed the sea of applauding spectators. Rhea grabbed a microphone, held the title aloft, and uttered, "Australia, this is for you. I am your nightmare and your champion, and I will always remember this moment." The ensuing ovation reverberated into the night sky and lasted for several minutes. It was just another successful championship defense in WWE history. For Rhea Ripley, however, it was something much more significant. The evening she left as a national hero and returned home as a champion. Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. I'm Lima. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.